In the frozen silence of the Arctic Circle, herds of reindeer drift across endless white tundra, their silhouettes barely visible in the mist. They move together, thousands strong, guided by instinct, tradition, and human hands. For centuries, reindeer have been the heartbeat of northern survival, feeding, clothing, and connecting people to one of Earth's most extreme landscapes. But today, they're also part of a modern, highly organized meat industry, one that blends ancient herding with cutting-edge technology. From the icy plains of Lapland and the forests of northern Russia to industrial meat facilities in Norway and Finland, millions of reindeer are farmed, tracked, and processed each year. It's an industry that balances between culture and commerce, between wilderness and control. So how does it really work? How are reindeer raised, harvested, and transformed into the delicacy known as Arctic venison? And can such a deeply traditional practice survive in a rapidly changing world? Today, we step inside the frozen frontier to explore the fascinating world of reindeer farming and the Arctic meat industry. What you're about to see is more than just food production. It's a story of resilience, adaptation, and the complex relationship between humans and nature at the top of the world. Long before the Arctic had borders, there were people who followed the rhythm of the reindeer. For thousands of years, the Sámi, the Nenets, and other indigenous peoples of the north lived in harmony with these animals, not as farmers, but as nomadic herders. Reindeer weren't just livestock. They were transport, clothing, food, and spirit, all in one. Every part of the animal was used: meat for sustenance, hides for warmth, bones for tools. And the herders themselves followed the animal's migration patterns, traveling hundreds of miles each year. In northern Scandinavia, families built their entire lives around reindeer herding. Children learned to read the snow, to understand wind, and to recognize each animal in a herd of hundreds, not by tags or marks, but by memory. But as modern nations drew their maps across the Arctic, everything began to change. Governments started regulating herding grounds, tagging animals, and commercializing what had once been a subsistence lifestyle. By the mid-20th century, reindeer herding was no longer just a way of life. It became an industry. Meat markets in Finland and Norway began labeling reindeer as premium game, lean, protein-rich, and naturally organic. Suddenly, centuries-old herding traditions were intertwined with supply chains, refrigeration, and export logistics. And while the image of a lone herder leading his animals across the tundra still exists, behind the scenes, many reindeer operations now function like modern farms, complete with GPS tracking, drones, and veterinary support. This is where ancient heritage meets industrial demand. But before reindeer reach the processing plant or dinner plate, they spend their lives in some of the most challenging conditions on Earth. Let's head north to see how reindeer are actually farmed today. Modern reindeer farming is a blend of ancient herding instinct and 21st century management. Unlike cattle or pigs, reindeer are still considered semi-domesticated. That means they're managed by people, but still roam vast natural pastures across tundra, forest, and mountain ranges. In Finland, Norway, and parts of Russia, each herder family owns hundreds, sometimes thousands, of reindeer. They graze freely on lichens, mosses, and Arctic shrubs through the short summer months, gaining weight on nature's simplest diet. But come winter, the challenge begins. Snow blankets the land, food becomes scarce, and temperatures can drop below -40 degrees Celsius. To survive and to ensure herd health, herders use snowmobiles and drones to locate animals, bringing them to feeding sites stocked with dry lichen, hay, or reindeer pellets. These supplemental feeds keep the animals strong through the long polar darkness. Each animal is tagged, not just with traditional markings, but now often with microchips or GPS collars. This allows herders to track migration routes, locate lost animals, and monitor herd numbers in real time. Come autumn, the herding families gather for the annual roundup. It's an extraordinary sight. Hundreds of reindeer corralled together in large circular enclosures. From the air, it looks like a living, swirling storm of brown and white fur. At this stage, calves are separated, breeding animals identified, and a select portion of the herd is chosen for slaughter, usually those that have reached optimal meat quality and age. The slaughtering process, while industrially regulated, remains deeply respectful in many communities. Animals are handled calmly to minimize stress, and specialized mobile slaughter units, small, hygienic facilities that can be moved close to herding grounds are often used to avoid long transport distances. Once slaughtered, the reindeer meat is chilled rapidly and sent to processing facilities. There, skilled butchers trim and divide the carcasses into cuts that range from tenderloins and steaks to minced meat and traditional dried products like swovas, a smoked delicacy known for its rich, earthy flavor. Reindeer hides are also valuable, used for luxury leather goods, gloves, and traditional Sámi crafts. Even antlers, shed naturally or harvested ethically, are turned into dog chews, carvings, or nutritional supplements in Asian markets. Nothing is wasted. Each part of the reindeer still carries meaning, from the tundra to the factory floor. But how does a centuries-old herding lifestyle keep up with the demands of global trade and modern technology? That's where innovation steps in. It might surprise you, but even here, in one of the planet's harshest environments, technology has quietly revolutionized the reindeer industry. Today, many herding communities use satellite tracking and data analytics to monitor their herds across thousands of square kilometers. Each reindeer fitted with a GPS collar sends signals to a digital dashboard, allowing herders to know where their animals are, how fast they're moving, and even when something unusual happens, like a sudden stop that could indicate danger or illness. In Finland, researchers have even developed AI-powered software that can identify individual reindeer by their facial markings, helping automate herd records without physical tags. It's a fascinating blend of tradition and tech, where ancestral knowledge now works alongside algorithms. Drones, too, have become essential. Herders once spent days on snowmobiles scanning the horizon for missing animals. Now, they launch small aerial drones that can spot herds miles away, even in blizzards. Thermal cameras detect body heat under snowdrifts, making rescue and management faster and safer. In Norway, experimental projects are testing autonomous feeding systems that drop nutrient pellets from the air, reducing the need for ground transport. And in Sweden, smart collars can alert herders instantly if reindeer approach roads or railways, preventing collisions that once claimed thousands of animals every year. Even meat processing has gone high-tech. Modern Arctic facilities use precision chilling systems and vacuum-sealed packaging lines that lock in freshness and prevent bacterial growth, crucial when shipping meat thousands of miles south. But perhaps the most inspiring innovation isn't digital, it's cultural. Many Arctic regions now run cooperative herding programs, where indigenous and local families share equipment, data, and profits. It's technology serving people, not replacing them, ensuring that ancient skills stay relevant in a rapidly changing world. Still, as technology advances, the Arctic itself is transforming. Climate change, unpredictable seasons, and thawing tundra are rewriting the landscape where reindeer have lived for millennia. And that brings us to one of the biggest challenges of all: sustainability. In the far north, sustainability isn't a marketing word, it's survival. For both people and reindeer, the balance between nature and livelihood is as fragile as thin ice. Reindeer are among the most environmentally efficient grazers in the world. They thrive on natural vegetation, lichens, mosses, and shrubs that other livestock can't digest. They don't require imported feed or artificial housing for most of the year. In many ways, they're living proof that meat production can coexist with wild ecosystems. But even this delicate harmony is under threat. The Arctic is warming nearly 4 times faster than the rest of the planet. And that means the ice crusts thicker, pastures vanish under freezing rain, and ancient migration routes become impassable. When reindeer can't reach their winter food beneath the snow, herders must truck in feed or relocate entire herds. Expensive, exhausting, and unsustainable in the long run. Some families are forced to reduce herd sizes just to keep the ecosystem stable. To adapt, governments and research institutes have partnered with indigenous herders to develop sustainable grazing maps, tracking pasture regeneration, lichen recovery, and herd density through satellite imaging. It's data science meeting ancestral knowledge. In many communities, there's also a strong ethical movement toward low-impact slaughtering and transport, cutting emissions and ensuring humane standards. Mobile slaughter units help minimize vehicle trips, and processing plants are investing in renewable energy sources, from wind turbines to bioheating systems fueled by leftover fat and bone waste. Still, the real measure of sustainability here isn't just environmental, it's cultural. Because to the Sámi, Nenets, and countless Arctic families, reindeer aren't just livestock. They're a connection to ancestors, to the land, and to a rhythm of life that's now at risk of fading. Keeping the reindeer industry sustainable means protecting not just tundra ecosystems, but entire ways of life. Yet for all these challenges, there's something remarkable happening, a quiet resurgence of pride and purpose within Arctic communities. Because reindeer aren't just a business, they're a symbol of endurance. Let's look at how this unique industry continues to shape both economies and cultures across the north. Reindeer mean more than meat. Across the Arctic, they represent a bridge between old and new economies, sustaining families, traditions, and regional identity. In Finland, reindeer herding supports nearly 4,000 families across the northern provinces. The country produces over 2 million kilograms of reindeer meat each year, much of it sold as premium game to restaurants and export markets. It's considered a delicacy, low in fat, rich in minerals, and entirely free range. Meanwhile, in Norway and Sweden, reindeer are central to the Sámi people's heritage. Here, herding rights are often passed down through generations, and each family belongs to a sida, a cooperative herding unit that manages specific grazing territories. That structure not only preserves cultural knowledge, but also ensures fair economic sharing within the community. Then there's Russia's Nenets autonomous okra, home to the world's largest reindeer population. Some herds here number in the hundreds of thousands. But while industrial slaughter facilities process meat for national markets, many Nenets still rely on traditional barter and local sales, trading meat and hides for supplies in remote settlements. Reindeer meat has also found its way into global cuisine. Chefs in Europe and North America now feature Arctic venison on fine dining menus, praised for its purity and sustainability. In a world craving ethical, wild-sourced protein, reindeer meat has become a symbol of responsible luxury. Yet, for those who live this life, the true value isn't measured in dollars or export tonnage. It's in continuity, in watching your herd return each spring, in teaching your child to call the animals by name, in knowing that your family's livelihood still flows from the land, as it has for hundreds of years. The modern reindeer industry stands on two foundations, economy and identity. Lose one, and the other cannot survive. But as climate pressures rise and global markets shift, one question remains. Can reindeer farming continue to thrive in the Arctic's uncertain future? Let's look ahead to what's next for this ancient yet evolving industry. The future of reindeer farming lies at a crossroads, one path leading toward innovation and the other toward preservation. Both are essential, and neither can exist without the other. Across the Arctic, scientists, herders, and policymakers are coming together in ways never seen before. In Finland, experimental breeding programs aim to produce healthier reindeer with stronger resistance to disease and harsh winters. Norwegian researchers are developing feed supplements rich in natural minerals that can replace declining wild lichens, keeping herds nourished even in poor grazing seasons. But it's not just about efficiency. Younger generations of Sámi and Arctic families are embracing their heritage with new tools, using drones, solar-powered herding camps, and online marketplaces to sell everything from handcrafted leather goods to gourmet smoked meat directly to global buyers. Social media has become a new kind of tundra, a place where ancient pride meets modern storytelling. Videos of migration trails, sleigh rides, and traditional joik songs now reach millions of viewers around the world, rekindling curiosity and respect for a lifestyle once thought to be disappearing. Still, challenges remain. Global warming is redrawing the boundaries of the Arctic faster than ever before. Industrial mining, forestry, and infrastructure threaten to fragment grazing lands that have been sacred for centuries. And with unpredictable weather, reindeer herders are forced to adapt at a pace that tests both tradition and endurance. Yet, despite all odds, the reindeer endure. Each winter, they continue to migrate across snow and silence, following invisible paths laid down by generations past. and each spring calves are born, hooves touch new earth, and life in the Arctic begins again. There's something profoundly humbling about that. In a world obsessed with speed and scale, reindeer remind us that survival is about rhythm, not rush, that the land gives, but only if we listen. So, when you see reindeer meat on a restaurant menu or a hide in a winter market, remember, behind that product lies a story of families, landscapes, and animals that have walked the same frozen trails for 1,000 years. It's not just an industry, it's a living connection between humanity and the wilderness we still depend on. The Arctic meat industry may evolve, but its heart, the bond between reindeer and herder, will always remain timeless, because some relationships are too sacred to ever be replaced. If you found this journey into the Arctic reindeer industry as fascinating as we did, let us know what you think in the comments below. Would you ever try reindeer meat, or do you think traditional herding should remain untouched by modern technology? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more in-depth documentaries that explore how the world produces the food we eat and the stories behind it. Until next time, stay curious and stay connected to the world around you.